Hey there everybody, this is Rob over at Watchtower. Just wanted to do a quick little deck profile here for you. Today we are going to be running through our take on the new Gallantmon. Gallantmon's been lacking a lot of support. Unfortunately, the Gallantmons we had set up previously just couldn't quite get us there. There wasn't enough surge support, and in general, just didn't quite get to where it needed to quick enough. But I think in this upcoming format here for BT-09, could put in a little bit of work. So let's go ahead and do a quick little run through of what we got. Alright, so the foundation of any deck is obviously going to be your eggs for the most part. So for this deck we are running 5 eggs, just to kind of give us a little bit of variance. So off the bat, our one-off, we will be running the Demi-Meramon. That way if we attack a player, we get 1k DP. That's going to help a lot both with just in general surviving the security attacks, but also helping with a lot of our deletions that we get, which are DP based. We'll run through those whenever we get into a couple of the other ones in a little bit here. So then the other ones we are running are Gallantmon from EX2. Really love this Gallantmon, and I think he really moved the archetype forward. With this one, anytime that you've got Gallantmon, Growlmon, or Gallantmon in your name, you get to draw. I'm a big fan of the Gallantmon or Greymon tribe decks, so this really gives me a feel similar to that, keeping that draw power going. So yeah, gonna be a really nice kind of base for every evolution, and every once in a while an extra little bit of DP never hurts. So that'll do it for the babies. Alright, moving along to our rookies. Now, with our rookies, we didn't step out too much, pretty much exactly what you would expect in a Gallantmon deck. We're really focused on just keeping it to the general Gallantmon archetype. So, to start out, we do have 4 of the starter deck Gallantmon. Obviously that's going to speed up our game, whenever we get into everything. Being able to hop straight from this into a Gallantmon will let us play a lot of catch up if the opponent beats us to the level 6. Then we have our EX2 Gallantmon. This one giving us search power again. Being a Greymon player for the most part, we definitely see a lot of this exact thing. So, getting him out early, getting that extra search to put the Gallantmons in my hand and make sure that I've got the Tamers, which we will be playing, and I'll show you how many a little bit here. And then to close this out, again, not much of a surprise, we have 4 of the Gallantmon X Antibody. So with the X Antibody, one, I'll be able to evolve this off of the Gallantmon if I'm having trouble finding my level 4s, just give me that extra little bit of search power, or even if I just want that extra bit of search power. And at the same time, when I evolve, I get to delete someone with 3k or less, and again, we're already seeing that stack from being able to delete, so it's going to be a very big benefit to this deck. So, rather straightforward, 12 Gallantmon, could go 14, but 12 felt safe. So now we will move on to our champions. Alright, moving along to our champions in the deck. Again, not really stepping too far out of the archetype, and by not stepping too far, I mean not at all. So we're going to run with Growlmons here. So we do have just 4 of the Growlmon from the starter deck. Again, really helping out whenever we delete someone, gaining a memory, just giving us a little bit extra to play with, and get into that Gallantmon as we're moving along here. We do have 4 of the X Antibody. Again, gives us the ability to evolve off of that Growlmon for a little bit of extra draw power, and to build up on our stacks. This one again increasing 1,000 of the maximum DP that we can delete. So as we're moving along, really stepping up how big of a thing we're going to be able to clear. Once this gets to an ideal stack, we'll be able to clear pretty much anything in the game while attacking or through other various methods. And then lastly, we have 2 of the Growlmon from EX2. This one allowing us to delete a Digimon with 2k or less, If we have a red Tamer, increases that to 4K or less. And then same thing, whenever we, with this one, it gives us an inherited, allowing us to delete a 3K or less. So we can stack multiple deletes within a stack, and this can get, pretty interesting as it continues to stack up, which will go whenever we touch on a couple of, ideal stacks and things of that nature. So, moving along, we will be hitting our ultimates next. Alright. Again, just getting into our ultimates here. Now, one thing you're going to notice here, this deck kind of builds itself. If you stay within the archetype, there's a few variations that you can do, but for the most part, it is very much just going to flow through with, some pretty obvious choices. So, with this one, we are running the starter deck War Gallantmon, which when attacking allows us to delete a Digimon of 3K or less, but also, with its inherited, allows us to increase security. So with this, anytime someone is deleted, this Digimon will gain security +1, allowing us to stack up pretty big and, hit for multiple things as we're moving through. And then off of that, we will be playing the X Antibody. So the X Antibody here, upon Digivolving, until the end of your opponent's next turn, 2 of their Digimon actually gain on deletion, lose 1 memory. Then if I have either a War Gallantmon or an X Antibody in its Digivolution cards, I get to choose any number of my opponent's Digimon whose total value is 6K or less and delete them. And again, remember, we have those things in the background that are going to let us stack this up, I believe, to about 6K. But yeah, we'll touch on that. But again, very straightforward, just 4 War Gallantmon, 4 X Antibody. So next up, we are going to move into our Megas. Alright, so with our Megas here, again, for the most part keeping with the archetype, but we did do a couple little steps out here that I think are really going to help us deck out when it comes to survivability in the current format. So, to no surprise, we do have the starter deck Gallantmon here. I'm sorry, starter deck 7 Gallantmon has security +1, and also when attacking I get to delete a Digimon with 4K or less. Now, increasing that, again, we can add on, I believe, another 3 to 4K. We'll confirm that in a minute. And, that's going to let us get something pretty good while attacking. Most of the time, probably going to clear out a blocker. And, in the instance that I don't, I gain an extra 3K. One thing that we do have in here that kind of steps out of the standard is the EX2 Gallantmon. I'm a big fan of this Gallantmon. So during my turn, he gains 2K DP. When we have a red Tamer, which we are going to have most of the time here, we're going to add 2K to the maximum DP I can delete, which again, stacking on top of the other ones could get pretty nice. And then we also get to choose any number of our opponent's Digimon when we're attacking, whose total DP is 6K or less. So again, that's going to be able to stack up pretty big with that additional increase and the other people we can get underneath them. Moving from there, now I don't much care for the Omnimon X Antibody, the Gallantmon X Antibody, so we're actually going to be running the War Gallantmon X Antibody in here. Now unfortunately we won't be able to benefit from his Digivolve discount there for War Gallantmon, but during all turns, when a card is removed from my opponent's security stack, I get to gain a memory, and then at the end of my attack, if War Gallantmon or X Antibody is in his Digivolution cards, which we're shooting for the X Antibody, then we're going to be able to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to his DP. So again, that's gonna he's hopefully gonna be a little bit boosted here, but regardless, a 12K delete definitely gonna be nice, and then we get all the other additions underneath him, just as we would with any of the other ones. So lastly, to round us off, we have 2 of the BT-09 Omnimon with Blitz. Really just kind of a game-ending thing most of the time, but it also gives you that extra little bit of security, where if you would be deleted, returned to hand or deck, we can just prevent that from occurring, effectively, stretching out our turn and, keeping this guy alive for what could potentially be, one of the final strikes that we need. So lastly, we will go through the option cards and the Tamers we're playing with this. Alright, so when it comes to our Tamers, well, option cards first here. So to no surprise, it's a red deck. Search is never a bad thing to have, so we are running 2 of the red memory boost, just to get us a little bit of search and make sure that we have enough to get those evolves. We are running 2 X Antibodies in here, just to make sure that we're able to get a little bit of free evolve here and there, helping us with the memory choke and other things like that, and even just boost our body as we're going in for an attack. So that's literally it as far as the option cards are concerned. Really doesn't need it, has a lot of built-in search and things of that nature. Now, as far as Tamers are concerned, we are running 2 Cool Boys, again giving us a little bit of extra search, getting our X Antibodies and our option cards here. I'm trying to get those X Antibodies into my hand, and giving me an option to get a little bit of extra draw whenever I'm evolving into these X Antibodies. We are running 2 of the Security plus Tie, also making sure that we have our memory fix at 3 as we move along. And going to be a lot easier to get up to that with these X Antibodies in play. And with it being a Gallantmon deck, no surprise, we are running the EX2 Takato. And with him, whenever an opponent's Digimon's deleted, I can suspend him to gain a memory. Whenever my Digimon digivolves into a Gallantmon or Growlmon, they actually gain Blitz, just to give me a little bit of extra swing power as we go through. Ultimately, that Omnimon may not be entirely necessary with that benefit there, but as we playtest it a little bit, we'll see how that works out. So next up, I want to do a quick little review on what might be an ideal stack as in a standard game, just to kind of show you the kind of damage that this can put out if we were able to get everything laid out just right throughout a game. Okay, so speaking through, ideal scenarios whenever we go through everything. Now, it is a lot easier, even though this does look like a very big stack. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 cards in here to get up to level 6. It is important to remember that we actually get free evolves on 1, 2, 3 of the cards out of the stack, with those X Antibodies coming off of their prior forms. Each one of those increasing the damage that we're going to be able to delete whenever we do a deletion attack. Now with this stack, off the bat, we're starting out with the ideal Gigimon, which will allow us to draw whenever we attack with this. Moving on, we get into the Gallantmon. That Gallantmon giving us the ability to delete something 3k or less. X Antibody giving us 1k increase to that. Moving up to the Growlmon, we actually get a 3k delete off of that. The X Antibody giving us 1,000 increase on there. War Growlmon increasing security by +1 whenever we get a delete on an opponent's Digimon. And then the Gallantmon up top here, giving her the X Antibody, actually War Growlmon not giving us any benefit. That's actually an on-evolve effect. But then we get to the Gallantmon, who on his own has security +1, and the when attacking, delete a 4k or less. So with that, we have 2 increases on here, so that'll actually be able to delete a 6k or less, getting us most of the lower end blockers. And then we have 2 other deletes in here, which will allow us to get rid of a 5k or less. So if we get up to, and obviously it's a lot to get to earlier in the game, but if your opponent's playing a rookie, low DP level game, this is going to give you 3 potential deletes as you're going through, as well as increasing this to a security +2 whenever you swing into their security. Now, a few things that could make this, a little bit better as you're moving along. Obviously, one would be a tie, allowing this not only to be a security +2, but increasing that to a +3, and clearing a good portion of your opponent's security stack. And then I think obviously, the biggest thing that you're also going to want there is that Omnimon in hand, giving you that additional attack. And letting you get potentially right there, that could be every single one of your opponent's security in one single swing, 3 deletes off your opponent's board, and it's going to be pretty tricky to come back from that depending on what they're playing, especially with yellow getting limited a little bit with the loss of Jet Sophie there, or rather the restriction. So feel free in the comments, let me know any opinions you may have on the deck here, anything you might change, and yeah, we look forward to giving you some more deck profiles in the future. You guys have a wonderful day.